Hello, everybody, and welcome to this presentation of the ECL Elite Division right here on Sports Gamer. I am Tookie, joined, as always, by my broadcast partner, Mr. Sin for the win. And Sin, it's playoff time. Can you believe it? A
Mhm.
5-week regular season in the books already. We started with 16. We're down to the Elite 8.
Yeah, and I mean the Elite Eight is absolutely the ticket. It's been a crazy season leading up to this point. A lot of kind of changes in the standings. We weren't too sure who was going to take first. SAWO kind of coming out of nowhere, surprising a lot of people, and they're going to be taking on a team who we thought had a chance to finish a bit higher in the standings, but did indeed get pushed down to 7th just because of how hectic and crazy this bracket was.
Absolutely. With that, let's get you all a look at the bracket as it stands heading into the playoffs again. We have our 4 first round matchups here. Of course, in this broadcast, we kick things off with the previously aforementioned SAWO Esports taking on Granit Gaming. And again, a little bit later on, it is the battle of 1 and 8, H-Reds and Goons. H-Reds, of course, are defending champions, but Sin also the battle of 3 and 6. It was once upon a time the perennial championship bout. Instead, in the first round for Lunda taking on Havu. We'll also have Fariestad and IQ starting up soon as well. An incredibly interesting bracket given all 4 of these matchups.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're getting El Clasico a little bit earlier than we've been used to, but we still get to see that matchup. It'd be nice, kind of stepping in a time machine to a few seasons ago when these two teams couldn't help but meet each other in the finals. But in this case, only one of those teams would be able to make it. One of them will be eliminated in the first round here. But again, there's still no real easy matchup. I really like the matchup here that we're going to see between SAWO and Granit. I mean, obviously SAWO had that really strong regular season, great defensive team, but Granit's also a pretty solid defensive team, and they can put up some goals too. If any team was going to put up a big fight against SAWO, from this lower part of the bracket, I would say it's Granit.
We are waiting to see. We know H-Reds, now defending champions. We know they're legit when it comes to the playoffs. We know for Lunda and Havu, former champions, can get it done. All eyes are on SAWO in this matchup. Regular season success is one thing. Will they be able to back it up with playoff success? We are going to find out here very soon. With that, let's get you a look here at the team stats from the regular season and how these two teams compared to one another. Instead, of course, obviously with SAWO, the big thing here is that goals against, the fewest amount of goals surrendered in the league through 30 games.
Yeah, they didn't quite hit that average of less than 1 goals against per game, but I'm sure they'll be satisfied with just allowing on average 1 goal against per game. That's absolutely terrifying. Nikkei was incredible. There's really no other way to describe him. And with that defensive kind of format around him, this is a team that kind of, in my opinion, takes a lot of styles of play. I mean, they got that quick counterattack that Feriestad has. They have that crazy shutdown of a Havu or an H-Reds, and their special teams is also off the chart as well. I mean, when you look at Granit, solid team, playoff team, their power play is the only thing that's slightly better than SAWO.
Get you all a look at the lineups here for this particular matchup. It is the 6 that you would expect from each side. For Granit Gaming, it is Ekin, Zovi, and Antonio Mannin up front. Furion with Captain Lehmanens on defense. And Sin today, Roysto between the pipes, as he has been for the vast majority of Granit's games down the stretch. But for SAWO, Yurska, Moja, Vatu up front, Tombu, the captain, next to Wenger on the defensive side. And you mentioned him before, it is Nikkei, and I'm very intrigued, of course, to see what those final numbers happen to be. And we'll get a look at those in a moment. But, of course, as we always do, we'll throw it to the center comparison here first. And Sin, when it comes to these two, I mean, more than capable of putting up points.
Yeah, I really like the year that Zovi had. I mean, he led his team in goals with 23. Again, not often something that we see from a centerman, but he brought that to the table. And obviously, Moja has just been fantastic. You can kind of argue all 3 of these wingers for SAWO, all 3 of the forwards for SAWO, seemingly kind of coming out of nowhere and really having all of them breakout years. Sometimes you just get some guys together and the chemistry just flows. That's what we got right now. Moja also with the advantage in the face-off dot, so Zovi is gonna, really have to work to win those key draws.
We have the wing comparison here as well. Again, Ekin and Antonio Mannin for Granit Gaming, Yurska and Avatu on the other side. And I mean, Sin for the SAWO combination here. Just an absolutely incredible season.
Yeah, again, I kind of reiterate just how great they've been. Look at the shot totals for both of those wingers, Yerska and Vatu, both over 100 shots, while neither of the wingers for Granite Gaming have eclipsed that mark. Now, obviously, Ekin, very, very efficient. I mean, you can argue, Antonio also efficient, but when it comes to Nikkei, I feel like you're going to have to pour some shots on. So these two wingers on the side of Granite, I think, are going to have to be a little bit more willing to shoot the puck because with what we've seen from SAWO throughout the regular season, they do not give a whole lot up on defense.
And speaking of defense, great transition there. We move over to the defensive comparison here as well. Again, for Granite Gaming, Furion and Laminins against Tombu and Wenger and Sin. By the end of the season, the Granite combination ending up with point totals that you would expect, but still a little bit further off from what we had seen from them in prior seasons.
Yeah, and we've sort of said that, I feel like, about quite a few different defensive pairings. So perhaps, NHL 22 a bit, people still trying to figure out how to get those defensemen a few more points here and there. We're not necessarily seeing that those runaway guys with the sheer amounts of points as we've seen in the past. That being said, you can't take either of these pairings lightly, especially not Laymanens and Furion. They're both extremely good with the puck. Furion waited a long, long time to get his first goal, but sometimes that just opens up the floodgates. We know how good he is on the offensive side of things. He really loves to possess that puck, a great puck mover as well. And of course, Laymanens loves to jump in on the rush. On the flip side, I mean, Tombu, Wenger, both with, very respectable point totals. And it's their defense that really, really kind of solidifies the style of SAWO.
The goaltending comparison is the last one we have here for you for Granite Gaming. Again, it is Roysto. On the other side, it is Nikkei. And Sin Roysto, in that head-to-head battle in terms of goaltenders, I'm not surprised to see him kind of get the nod. But obviously, you're going up against the man who I would say is a shoo-in to win goaltender of the year.
Absolutely. I don't think there's anyone that really, I mean, they came close, but it was just Nikkei was on a level of his own. He didn't quite maintain the 90 save percentage, didn't quite get all the shutouts to break a record, but I mean, 11 shutouts with an 89.8 save percentage, a sub 1 goals against average. It's just absolutely ridiculous what he was able to put up. That being said, Roysto has had some really good showings since taking over the net, especially in the last couple matchups where he really looked very calm in the crease. And I think that's really what Granite is going to need here in this playoff set. Someone who's very comfortable in the crease and knows how to handle these high pressure situations.
Absolutely. So with that, again, we are just a few moments away from puck drop here. The first game in this first round matchup. Again, best of 7 is the format here. And again, a little bit later on, after the first 2 games of Granite and SAWO, again, we will see our defending champions in H-Reds taking on Goons. Another interesting matchup there coming up. Again, sportsgamer.gg for all the information that you need. Of course, it's not just our Elite Division playoffs that are starting today. We've already had the lower division playoffs start as well. Of course, the Pro Division playoffs first round is done, and having kept an eye on that, some outrageous results there. The Pro Division always interesting. And of course, I have at least one, maybe a couple of options of teams coming up from our Pro Division. So it's certainly worth keeping an eye out on. But Sin, as we get ready for this matchup, again, just a few moments away here, I want to throw this over to the standings as they happen to be, just to show how close this season happened to be for the vast majority of it. Because you can see there, Granite, in this matchup today against SAWO, on a tiebreaker format with Goons. And then again, of course, we talked about it before, but you see how close those relegation spots were. You had 3 teams tied on 24 points. It was YMCA who lucked out and don't have to fight for their survival. This 30-game regular season was something else.
It really was. And it really kind of came down to the wire in a lot of those sort of areas, as you can see. I mean, ZSC did a great job of sort of working their way out of that relegation position. We, thought even some of these other teams would have had a shot, but yeah, it was, again, what I love about ECL Elite and what everyone out there should love is that, again, there's just always something to play for. And the seeding came down really crazy. The IQ and Havu, IQ barely just edging it out with the more wins on that tiebreaker format. And again, some of the matchups in that final week as well were high stakes matchups, teams that had a chance to leapfrog. We talk about HV71, Jure Gordon, Or, when Havu was taking on a team like H-Reds, these are important points. They could have maybe tried to, work their way a bit higher up the standings, but it just didn't quite work out that way. Unfortunately for Färjestad, they were able to leapfrog their way up a bit and didn't have to play for Lunda in that first round.
Yeah, I mean, again, you look their IQ with that tiebreaker on Havu to set up El Clasico in round one. Just a crazy, crazy season, and I'm sure the playoffs will not disappoint. Again, the top 8 getting ready to kick things off here, and very much excited to see how this is going to play out. We do have a slight delay in terms of the matchup getting going here, but again, it should only be a few moments now before we really get things up and running. Now, this is the point where we've been able to cover numerous postseasons at
Mm-hmm.
this stage. I gotta say, my anticipation level might be higher than it's ever been. Again, we talked about it for season after season. Oh, okay, foregone conclusion for Lunda and Havu. One of them's winning. That is ultimately not how it necessarily has to go. I mean, only one of them will have the possibility to win after round one. And then you're talking about, unless there is a massive upset from Goons, everyone, of course, expecting H-Reds to be that much closer towards defending their title. A lot's up for grabs at this
Mm-hmm.
stage. I'm very much intrigued to see how this is going to pay out.
Yeah, I would especially like to see, what what SAWO is going to be able to do, because when I think back to when the last time we had a team that kind of played really solid defensively, put up enough goals, got a really high seed, and that was Yippee Voskala. And they got upset by that Färjestad team in that first round. Now, again, SAWO cannot take this opponent lightly. We've seen teams come in, have great regular seasons kind of out of nowhere, and then quickly fall off, as obviously Yippee Voskala has now, down in that pro division. So again, Granit does have a chance here. The seeding, it's not a foregone conclusion, especially not now. I mean, maybe in the past, the 2 versus the 7 was more like, oh yeah, that 2 is definitely going to take it. Not so much with the way this elite division worked out. All these teams extremely strong.
You see on your screen now what these teams are playing for here in our winter season. Of course, a new format as well. The combined season leading all to the grand final. And of course, we'll see what happens there. But still 6,000 euros at stake for whoever is able to walk away as champion of our winter season. A lot to play for these teams here. The top 4, of course, walking away with something. So again, you win one first round matchup and you're already looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So again, very, very important here in the first round for numerous reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. And, with the way the second season will sort of tie into this as well. I mean, doing your best in these playoffs and getting somewhere is exactly what these teams are going to need. And here we go.
It is the home side in SAWO, of course, in their black jerseys. Granit in the road whites. As again, playoff action underway here at the ECL Elite Division. Brought to you by our friends at Wilhelm, Gildan Lockertson, and ST Hockey, is Granit able to shut down that early attack. Puck back down low after another huge hit, and that is something to keep an eye out on, the physicality perhaps that we may see from SAWO, but so far so good in terms of patrolling the blue line as well. And Sid, I think that's going to be something that we see from a lot of these playoff matchups. It's going to come down to that battle of the blue line and the trap games for both.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would like to see, one of these teams perhaps try to exert that physical presence. Neither one of them was too physical.
Good chance there on the far side. You got to watch out for that SAWO counterattack. And there was Granit trying to get something going. A trip is called. And the first power play of this postseason will go to Granit Gaming, as Tombu, the captain, with an uncharacteristic trip, and a good opportunity coming up here for Granit Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned that SAWO counterattack there. Those forwards just seem to get that immense speed out of nowhere, but a huge, huge chance for Granit now to slow some of that momentum down and perhaps start this game off with a lead.
Move set play off the draw. They are able to maintain the puck. Here on for Antonio. Puck in front off the traffic. Great chop by Yerska. Sends it all the way back down. Kills off the first 30 seconds of this power play. Let's see what Granit can do. Trying to get back into the zone. Here's Ekin. Around the back of the net, still fighting for it. Antonio Mannin there to help. Sweeps out to his right. Laminen's back down to it. And again to the point. Good movement. Antonio tried to pick that short side corner. Just not able to do so. Wasn't sure if Nikkei got the glove to that. Ekin trying to hold on to it. Not able to. Wenger has to send it around. Contested puck. That chop failed. kept in by Lehman. It's passed in front. Shot saved by Nikke. And he is able to find the puck. Sin, tough save to make there when his momentum was carrying him one way.
Huge save right there from Nikke, and then to get that cover as well. Lehmanens was on the warpath looking for that loose puck. A split second, that would have been a goal.
Still fighting for the puck here. We are back to 5-on-5. Granit still in possession. Let's see what happens here now. Again, you see them having to take their time in terms of trying to find the space over the blue line. Here is Antonio Manin with that little bit of space. On the back of the goal. Sizing up his options. Goes around to the left. Gets it right back. Pass again to Ekin. Big save by Nikke. Fighting for the puck. Moja was able to come up with it for SAWO. And they are on the attack. They've been on the back foot to start this game. Uncharacteristic for them in the offense that they've put out this season. Wenger has it again. Back down low. Pass in front. Zobi's there to take it away. Furion just not able to time it at the line. Miscommunication there with Ekin. Puts in a couple of looks for SAWO, but again, bit of a slow start for them.
Yeah, but you cannot take them for granted. The second you think that perhaps they're off to a slow start, like we saw against that Havu game, there's just their counterattack completely just ate them up, and that was the main reason that they won. So even when it seems like you have the momentum, you're kind of slowing down SAWO, you have to always be aware of those counterattacks coming out.
Unfortunately, we have a bit of a looping situation there, so we'll get right back to the face-off, and indeed, from the looks of it, I would think they're going to hold off on the time. Maybe not. Looks like they're just going to go right back for it. Fair enough. Furion dumps it into the far corner. Big hit there on Tombu. Still fighting for it. Great forechecking pressure here from Granit. Not playing a scared game. Antonio Manin's pass in front, just out of the reach of the forward as Furion couldn't quite hold the line. Opens up room for SAWO down the other way. Tombu into the triple team pressure. Nowhere to go. Good effort by Yerska to win that puck back. Wenger tries to get it to him, and indeed now the winger has it. Slap shot on. Kick save by Roysto. 5 minutes to play here in the first period. Again, game 1 of this best of 7. Puck into the corner. Wenger, good job to control that one. Gets it up to Vatu. Now it's Moja looking for space. Gains the line. Tried to drop back. Ekin all over it. But he turns it over just on the offside call there. Close call for both of these teams.
Yeah, you're kind of just sort of sitting around waiting and see if one of these teams is sort of going to get the edge needed to kind of get the game opening goal in this one. It just hasn't happened yet.
Go off the face-off. Again, another contested puck in the neutral zone. It is SAWO. We're able to come up with it. Having to take their time as well. Granit doing a good job of patrolling the blue line. Antonio Manin takes it away. One of the better two-way players in this elite division. Wenger as well looking for space. Having to just take his time, waiting to catch them off guard. Dump to the far side. And another loops in will bring the clock back to 4:02.
Definitely not what we wanted to see here in this first matchup between these two teams. And yeah, just highly unfortunate. That was, decent. I mean, the dump and chase may be the way to sort of break the two teams' traps that we're seeing at the blue line. We mentioned how important that blue line game is going to be. And yeah, to not really to worry about, something negative happening with that dump and chase, just not a situation where either team wants to be in. As you see right there, SAWO trying to set something up in the zone, trying to go back to the point. Defenseman had already begun to pinch up, and they'll have to reset.
Good pass there to find a bit of space and tried to go in front. Furion all over it. Been on point so far. That pass, though, off the mark. Wenger's shot blocked. Gets it back, and again, it's knocked away. 10 seconds to play. One more rush, perhaps, for Granit Gaming. Here is Ekin on the corner boards. Still fighting for it. Throws one on, deflects wide, and that will do it for an extended first period. Still looking for our opening goal, and here was one of those big saves by Nikke to keep this game goalless.
Yeah, this is unfortunately not the one. Oh, it actually was the one I was thinking of, where he slid over to the right, made the save, and then had to glove that as it was moving towards that side, and Lehmanens was crashing the net. So right there, I mean, just when you see his glove go on the puck and then Lehmanens about a second after was taking swipes at it. Only 3 registered shots from these two teams combined in that first period. But I gotta say, there were, plenty of chances coming on both sides, especially for Granite. On that power play there, it was, really looking good for them.
So an interesting moment there, Sin, as well as I think we are good to go. I think we're ready for the start of the second period. What an interesting start to the playoffs here.
Absolutely. I mean, expected. I guess it works on more than just the gameplay here.
Yeah, another dump in attempt is cut off. Second period underway. Again, game 1 of this opening round matchup. Your 2 seed in SAWO Esports taking on number 7, Granit Gaming. Wenger has it now for SAWO, just trying to get something going. It feels like the puck has been in their own zone, of course, for the vast majority of this. So far, we still have a long way to go in this particular game. And SAWO finally able to gain the zone. Wenger, a little bit of space, back down for Yurska. Tried that short side shot. Goes all the way back to the point. Now down low in the corner, it's Moja back for Tombu. And again, Moja, the centerman, down low in the corner. Good work there by Yurska. Better work by the defense in front. Season just nowhere for Ekin to go. Granite having to constantly fall back towards their own side of the neutral zone. Just no space whatsoever given up by SAWO. Also reminding me what an outlet pass there. Here is Vatu, cut across, shot save by Roysto. Rebound still alive and swept wide. Mistake there by Vatu Sin, as it looked like that right-hand side was wide open. I don't know what happened with Roysto. It's almost like he was tethered to that left-hand side, but it worked out. That's exactly where the shot went. Offside call here with 11:57 to go on the game clock, again in the second period. Big stop by Royce. Look at the face-offs as well. 6-0 might now finally be 6-1. Still very much in Granite's favor. Yeah, Wenger able to get this puck. Let's see what he can do with it. We've seen them try to work the double chase a few times. Don't need to do so now. Tombu. Again, back down for Yurska. Tries to throw it on from an odd angle. It was blocked. Yurska again, pass across. Found Vatu, but again, the defense is there. Take away that shooting opportunity, and another offside call here with 9:21 to go here in the second.
Still looking for this game's first goal here. And I'm just kind of wondering what it's going to take, to sort of break through. I mean, Granite, nice zone attempt entry right there, but immediately poked off by that defensive pairing of SAWO.
Is Granite back in control? Let's see where they can go with this. Layman's circling around, and you notice too, since SAWO being a little bit more patient to dish out some poke checks after that early penalty call against Tombu, but it is another offside here, leading to another face-off. We, of course, saw just a few minutes ago the advantage that Granite Gaming has had so far, and ever since we saw that stat line, SAWO getting the better of him on the draws. That one shoveled off the side of the goal. Roysto is able to find it and make the cover.
Big saves coming out from Royce now as, SAWO beginning to push here, and this could be, the dangerous point for Granite. They failed to capitalize on some of those early chances here, and if SAWO was able to get that advantage, trying to play into them will just feed that counterattack.
The toe drag from Wenger gains the zone. Is Furion on the far side able to take that one away. Miscommunication there with Ekin. No delayed icing. Tombo loses it. Antonio in front for Zovi, and a big stop by Nike. How many times have we said that in the regular season? It's Moja. Back to Wenger. Shot, glove save by Roysta. Big saves on both sides of the ice. Still, though, without our opening goal.
Yeah, and at some point, something, it may take a bounce, it may take something, but it's gonna go in the back of the net sooner rather than later. And if you're Granite, you want to try to get back into the SAWO side of the ice. So one of those bounces that does go in your favor. But you can see SAWO now beginning to crank up that forechecking pressure as well.
There's one in the corner there by Ekin, still in control now here for Granite Gaming. Antonio Manin for Zovi down low. Back for Antonio. For those high-quality chances above all else. Is that the proper strategy for the moment? We will find out, I am sure. As Ekin back for Lehman is trying to find that pass in front. Nobody home. A chance down the other way. Wenger tried to split the defense. Great job by Furion to take it away. They score! They recover the puck down low. They're able to find Yerska. He has the opening goal of SAWO's playoff campaign. 1-0 for SAWO Esports.
Good plays down low, just kind of stuck with it right there. And that's a play that we often see kind of Granit trying to do as well, coming around the net, pass out front to someone in tight, and that time it's SAWO. Yerska finding the opening goal in this game, putting SAWO ahead 1-0 here late in the second.
And a great job there by Wenger to take advantage of the space that was there. Didn't give up on the play after he lost the puck. And here's Vatu fighting for this one. Wenger nearly kept that one alive as well. Final 10 seconds. Space for Zovi on that left-hand side. Rebound attempt. Mozia was there to take it away. And they will be able to kill the clock. Mozia just stands still, and sometimes that's the best defense. The opening goal, you'll see it again here from Yerska. 1-0 lead for SAWO heading into our third period.
Yeah, just exactly what they needed. All the momentum heading into the second, and that, power play for Granite where they got their first initial few chances seems miles and miles away, both on, both in the game context, but also in the way of, they haven't gotten a ton of high quality looks since then. SAWO's just beginning to snuff them out, and as it becomes more and more a neutral zone sort of contest here, that's going to feed that counterattack of SAWO. Those quick turnovers in the neutral zone, that's something Granite's going to have to be careful of. Obviously, they want to maybe try to utilize that dump and chase to get their own down low cycle set up here, but it just hasn't quite worked for them so far.
Again, one more look at that chance earlier from Fatu, a wide open corner. It's one of the more difficult things to do. I'd argue any game like this, and just the idea of you go for the play that you think is going to be there as opposed to going for the play that is actually there. You just almost haven't made up in your mind what you're going to do. It's very difficult to deviate from that at the last moment. But, of course, that is the reaction time and the reads that separate the players in terms of a skill gap here. I didn't see what the penalty was for, but we will have SAWO's first power play of the postseason. The extra attacker is out.
I thought I might have saw like a stick lift or a slash somewhere in that neutral zone, but we'll get a good look at it here with the official making the call. Nevertheless, SAWO's going on that power play.
It is Ekin to the box, and it is for a little bit of a bump there. He collided with two different people. It certainly didn't help his cause. So we saw the Granite Gaming power play, just a few attempts, a few looks back in the first period. Let's see what SAWO can do here, looking to double up the lead. Zovi is able to win the opening draw, and that puck is sent back to the SAWO zone. Crucial kill for Granite Gaming. Here is Mozia. Able to hold on to that one. Lehmanins can't get it out. Here's Wenger in front. Interesting moment there around the back, and Yerska just couldn't pick that one up in stride. It's a free clear for Granite. Over halfway through this power play now. Good movement there. Furion sticking with Vatu back to the point. Tombu the big sweep around. Wenger looking. Man posted up in front. There he is. Yerska's shot doesn't go. Got a race for the puck. Antonio Manin can't hold on to it. Tombu down low for Yerska. Tried the short side. Just lost it. We are back to 5-on-5. Puck held down low. Now up the boards for Antonio Manin. Granite need to get something going. And trailing by one after the second period goal from Yerska of SAWO Esports. Left-hand side it is Ekin. The man who took the penalty works it for Furion. Tried to go back in front. Great read by Vatu. The winger pinched down to take that one away. It's Mozia again trying to find Vatu in front. Good defense from both teams, but right now good defense is only a part of the equation for Granit. That puck back to the point. Furion at least able to stop Yerska from making a play on it. 12 minutes to go here, Sid.
Time a bit running out here for Granit. You can see them start to commit more defensemen into the play as well, whether it's on the rush or in the zone. They love to slide one of them down, but again, you can always feed that counterattack of SAWO, but at this point in the game, you have to take those risks. You're only down by one, sure, but that's Nikke back there.
Here's Vatu, a rocket pass through the paint. Nobody on the other side. Halfway now through this third period. As Furion's pass intercepted by Yerska, Vatu alongside him. Moja joins the fray. Back to Tombu at the point. Again, back down low. The chance there. Vatu, I think, wanted that wraparound. Perhaps good bit of contact to break it up. But still, Granit struggling to find that opening goal. No real surprise, of course, with those goaltending numbers we saw from Nikke. And I think that full defensive effort really kind of showcases why teams struggled so much to score goals against SAWO in the regular season. As Vatu has it here in the corner. Down low for Moja and back to the point for Wenger. And again, down low. Great movement, also killing the clock at the same time. Sierska's pass off the mark, nearly kept it alive. Furion, let's see what he can do. That pass for Antonio Mannin. A little bit of incidental contact, no penalty on it. Tombu able to send that one up the wall for Yerska. Fires one around. Batu's there to get it. There's the Wenger at the point. His pass off the mark. Good pressure there. Antonio Mannin for Lehman's here. Takes it from Yerska. Zobi shot deflection, scores! It can be that simple sometimes. Throw the puck on net. You never know what might happen. Ekin has the opening goal for Granit. We're tied at 1.
Huge time to get it right there. I love the mentality from Granit. They sent Lehmanns on the rush, who then passed it back to Zovi, covering for him on the point, and he just rips it on net with a net front presence like Ekin. He gets the goal and ties this game up after about a solid 5 minutes of game time of SAWO killing time in their own end. What a huge response coming out from Granit.
It's a whole new game now at this stage. Moja battling for it down low. Great pressure here from Granit to win it back. Zovi for Ekin. Back to the point. Furion. Ekin again knocked loose by Wenger. 3 minutes to go. We are now tied at 1. Should it go to overtime? Of course, sudden death rules. Sierska has that one taken away by Lehmanns. Antonio Mannin. Good bounce pass for Ekin. Zovi. A lot of contact. Foot race for it. Zovi able to recover it. Furion trying to step in. Again, nowhere to go. Seen him make the same play quite a few times with no success. Puck down low. Yerska. What a good attempt there from Moja. They found Batu in front. Final minute here. Next goal, Sin, safe to say, is going to be the winner.
Yeah, could definitely turn out this way as we are within that last minute of real time here.
There's a pass over for Wenger. Moja covering for him at the point. Wenger holding on to it and with too much indecision. He is able to get it back. Here's Tombu for Yerska. The shot blocked. Final 25 seconds here. That pass off the mark. Granit will have to reset.
At this point, I think we're going to see Granit buy their time, try to get that last shot, sort of a basketball style here. You don't want to give SAWO one more chance.
Here is Lehmanns. That pass for Zovi off the mark, but they get it back. Lehmanns still has it. Ekin shot. Penalty upcoming. Granit to the power play with 5 seconds to go. It is a trip, his second of the game. Tombu going back to the box, and unfortunate there as he was only trying to block the shot. One more opportunity here for Granit Gaming to take this one in overtime. They don't risk it. Roysto stays in goal. So it is 5-on-4. Face-off, 1. Vatu clears. Overtime coming up in game 1. Tied at 1 at the end of regulation.
I mean, what a first game this is turning out to be. You know, really sort of tense, a bit of back and forth, but kind of also methodical at times for both of these teams with the way they're sort of, at least for SAWO, able to set up. You know, they had an idea in mind, trying to buy some time, kill time, more or less, down in Granit zone while still looking for goals. But at the end of the day, sort of backfired with that play right there. Just a quick shot on net from the point, and Ekin gets the deflection to bury it. But again, in the playoffs here, wins are all that matters. No points, no nothing here. So all that matters is who gets this next goal to get the advantage in this series. And I gotta say, while SAWO has looked pretty good, I would say they're kind of on the side that that they've been are against the side that they're usually kind of on. Sometimes being outplayed, and then with that counterattack ability, they're able to sort of score and get a goal. And I gotta say, I kind of like that possibility here for Granite in overtime. Their pushback has been good. They're activating their defensemen, and they're still able, for the most part, to get back in this one. So SAWO is going to have to be a little bit careful of Granite here, especially on this power play.
Overtime underway, and again, as Sin mentioned, nearly a full power play for Granite Gaming. Here is Ekin, the man who tied this game up late in the third. Antonio Mannon now goes back for Lamanins, stuck on the back end. Let's go down low for Antonio. Zovi shoveled one on. Nike able to make the save. A slow roller towards goal. 1:06 on the power play. Second power play of the game. Of course, both teams 0 for 1. At this point, 13-5, as you see there as well, the face-off numbers. And off the draw, Wenger's able to recover it and clear.
Yeah, Moser doing a good job in the face-off dot, especially in his own end. That's a couple key draws that he's won and been able to relieve some of the pressure that Granite was beginning to mount.
This power play nearly done. They still have a little bit of time. Zovi battling for it. Wenger's there. Yurska has it now as well. Wenger now one more time. He takes the hit from the wingers, trying to hold on to it. We are back to 5-on-5. Antonio Mannon likes to hold on to it. Ekin looking back for Antonio. Rifled in front and intercepted. Certainly some shooting chances and other passing options perhaps that you look at. Might be surprised for Granite to not go for those. As Yurska has it here. Back to the point for Tombu. On the corner, tries to circle out Tombu. For Wenger, nowhere for him to go. SAWO forced to reset. See what Wenger can do. He's been very involved generating offense for his team. Instrumental in that first goal. Again, for Granite Sin, I mean, just having to work that puck around, just trying to get SAWO to move.
Yeah, and that's just, it's tough to do. Even when they do move, you still got to go through, some of their really good resets into the passing lanes, and their shifts are really good. They sort of move as one at the line. You see a crushing hit right there on Zovi, and it's SAWO coming back the other way.
Wenger, Yurska in front, off the pad of Roysta. Antonio Mannon holds on the backhand, loses it. Moja, great job on the back check. Helping out his defense. Stretch pass there, intercepted by Furion, but his pass off the mark. Turnover after turnover here between these two teams. It's like nobody wants the puck at this stage. Good dump into that far side corner. Zovi couldn't get it. Ekin there, though. Again, Furion stepping in. Ekin tried that wraparound. Tombu able to take that one away. See what SAWO can get going down the other way, and similar moments there as, again, these passes off the mark. Big clear just out of the reach of Yurska, and a nice and call. Big opportunity here for Granite.
Yeah, they're going to have to be careful of those plays. They love those slat pass plays, particularly off the boards, as we saw them attempting right there. That was, I believe, Yurska kind of streaking away with it. He would have had a step. It would have been tough to get around Lamanins on the wide side, but you never know with some of those dekes to the middle that these players are able to pull off. Could have had a good shooting opportunity.
Tombo here now able to bank that off the boards for Yurska. Again, Antonio Mannon there to take it away, but he turns it over. Yurska tries to hold on to it. Gets it to Tombu at the point. D to D, blocked down by Ekin there, getting in front. Zovi able to recover the puck here, and again, the quick movement from Granite Gaming, but instantly stifled as they approach the blue line by Wenger. Tombu takes the hit. Neither team really able to establish that offensive foothold, let alone generate many scoring opportunities.
And this overtime, time beginning to sort of tick away. It's got that feeling of it's going to sort of happen on a rush goal or a shot that you didn't quite expect.
That pass back to the point doesn't go. Vatu trying to just speed his way past the defense. He's still fighting for it here and has it. That pass a little bit off the mark. Yurska and Vatu both still down low. fighting for this puck. Furion, a good job to dig that one out of trouble. And with 2.5 minutes to go, again, a real-time 2 minutes. Upcoming in the overtime, both teams going to have to be very, very careful of not taking a penalty. And an interesting moment there, Sin, as it won't be the final 2 minutes. We're back to 8:06 on the clock.
All right. Well, see what SAWO can do as they try to enter the zone here. I mean, hey, at this rate, at least we won't have triple overtime, right?
You know, I wouldn't put it past it to be in triple overtime and jump all the way back to OT1. Wouldn't put it past it. That shot there, good save by Nike. Able to deny Antonio Mannin. Here's Zobi, tried to find Ekin, of course, the goal scorer for Granit. Wenger is offside there. 5:16 to go.
We've sort of stepped back in time right here as we're all ready for that last minute of real time. So, yeah, I guess at this point, the penalty isn't as dangerous. I was just going to sort of reiterate that point that was going to be made here. Nonetheless, I mean, stakes just as high, sudden death, and okay.
A little bit more time on the clock. Sin, it's one of those things where, you know, you just don't want the good times to end. And you have an opportunity to prevent them from ending, apparently. Isn't that what we all want in life, Sin? Just a little bit more time.
Yeah, absolutely.
As Furion's rocket pass into the slot is broken up. Here is Antonio Mannin. He is bumped off by Yerska. See what he can do. Finds Vatu. He has space. Backhand. He's taken down.
Whoa.
2-minute power play coming up for SAWO. Might have been an argument for a penalty shot.
I was about to call that. I really thought that would have been a penalty shot. He had Ekin sort of beat right there. I'm a little confused by the call, but I'm sure SAWO will take the power play nonetheless. There's about 3 minutes left, which means the second half of this power play will be in that real time, so it will be an extended advantage for SAWO.
Face off. One yet again by Zobi. However, Furion able to clear. You got to look there at the stamina bar for Ekin on empty. We'll see how that factors in. Here's Yerska. Back from Moja. Tombu. D-to-D movement here. No shot, though. Pass for Vatu. Broken up at the last moment. Good look there for SAWO. But again, the Granit defense on point.
We enter the last 2 minutes here, which means SAWO will have a full minute on the power play to set up and try to get a chance.
Vatu. Wenger. Great movement. Great save by Roysto. Big stop there. Vatu keeping this one in. Tombu has it now at the point. Shot on. Rebound was there, but just out of the reach of Vatu once more. It's Moja. Again, Vatu shot is blocked. Desperate for that OT winner. Furion is able to clear, at least back to the neutral zone with 25 seconds to go on the SAWO man advantage. Tombu now for Moja. See what he can do. Back to the captain. Yerska's shot blocked. That corner was open. Crucial block there by the defense. Furion can't clear. Moja. Now it's Yerska fighting for it down low. 5 seconds in this overtime. Furion will kill the clock. And Granit Gaming survive a bit of a scare. We hit the final minute of this first overtime. Wouldn't blame me for confusing it with the second. A little bit of miscommunication here for Granit again. Can they gain the zone? They do. What a pass. Ekin tried to go in front. That one was intercepted.
I was a bit curious what exactly Granit was looking for there with all the delays, and it seemed like they're not even sure themselves, and then they brought that play out. What a bit of L skating right there from Vatu, who's trying to just weave his way into a position. A lot of players right now trying to make something special happen to give their teams the W.
Might be exactly what it takes to break through. Second has it here, Vatu. That one knocked loose. Final 12 seconds. One more rush attempt here for Granit. Yerska, though, able to take it away. One more chance, perhaps, for SAWO. Here's Yerska. 3-second shot on. Paddled away. Double overtime coming up. We're still deadlocked at 1 goal apiece.
You know, for a lack of trying for both of these squads here, especially towards the end. I mean, all it takes is one shot, and we saw Vatu trying to, go up the middle, who drew that penalty, and then a little bit later, he was trying some L-skating in the zone. Then we saw Furion doing kind of a lot of holding.
Of course, this is the 6th week now, and to get to the 6th week of a Marathon Monday, the joke stops being funny. But regardless, it is double overtime. Here again, the first game of this best of 7. God help us all, as that shot is stopped by Nikke, a rarity that we've been able to say that. Of course, Granit not putting too many shots on goal in this one, so.
Yeah, kind of both of these teams, in a sense, not taking a whole lot. You see SAWO kind of going for a lot of those higher percentage stuff that they want, one-timers, etc. And, Granit trying, to do the same thing. It's just that defensive SAWO, as it's been all year. Surprisingly deadly, but that's kind of what Granit has always done. They're not really a team to take a lot of those lower percentage shots, which is odd because I feel like that's what their goal came off of.
Absolutely, as we wait to see there, and Nikke ends up making a save. Apologies for that. We couldn't quite see the play very clearly. But it is another face-off coming up for Granit in the attacking zone, that aggressive formation. That pass in front, they score! Zovi, the overtime hero. Granit Gaming come back from 1-0 down to take it 2-1 in overtime. A 1-0 series lead as a result.
Absolutely massive, a huge play up by Granit, getting that face-off win when it matters. Mojo's done a great job in the defensive zone, but not so much that time as Granit get the win, and then the man in the face-off dot himself cuts over to the net, gets the pass, wrists it home on the club side right there. Nikke can't make the save, and Granit Gaming take game 1. Perhaps a bit surprising in this scenario, but we said it. These brackets insanely close. Granit, if any team's going to give SAWO a run for their money, it's a type of team like Granit who can play pretty well defensively, and they like to wait for their chances as well. They wait for the right one in overtime, and they win it.
A huge result there for Granit Gaming. They complete that comeback, and Sin, we walked into this first matchup saying the pressure was certainly more on SAWO. Again, you win that 2 seed in the regular season, pressure's certainly going to be more on you to prove that, yeah, hey, we belong here and we're going to get it done in the playoffs as well. You can call it a lucky goal there at the end if you want, but the bottom line is just 1 goal against Granit through 4 full periods of play, if not a little bit more in change. Certainly not enough, and not what we would have expected from SAWO. Certainly not the start to this series that they would have been looking for.
No, absolutely not, and that's unfortunate, when it comes to SAWO, but they have to get more goals on. I feel like, maybe at times you're trying to just be a little too cute instead of, Pepper Roysto back there. And, they had the 9 registered shots, but as you said, in the 4 periods, I don't think either of these teams maybe necessarily shot as much, especially when you compare it to the time on attack. You're SAWO, you're averaging just 1 shot per 1 minute of time on attack, which is, even for the higher levels, could be considered a bit low. And at the end of the day, if you only get the 1 goal, it has to be considered a bit low there. So they're going to have to bounce back here. Maybe, think of some other way to start getting some different looks onto Roysto, because Granit did what they needed to do. They survived. They sort of maintained. They killed off a huge penalty there in that overtime period at the end of it, where SAWO had a full, minute of real time there to do something with it. They couldn't capitalize there either. And Granit with, I just got to say, a well-deserved game 1 victory.
Absolutely. So again, a 1-0 lead here now for Granit in this best of 7. Again, game number 2 coming up in just a matter of moments. We'll throw it to a brief word from our sponsors. I highly recommend everyone watching. I don't know, take a lap around the house, get some stretches in there. This could be a long broadcast at this stage. We'll be back in a few moments. Don't go anywhere.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Lähdetään haastamaan 1-1 vastaan. Loistava nälkäisen pelaajan ratkaisu, ohi mennään. Luukulla ollaan valmiina. Ja sitten katsotaan, kaikki kestää. Vanhanaikaisella kiekkolapaa, ilmaveivi, klassikko, maali! Vastus Wilhelm joukkueelle.
All right, everybody. And again, thank you very much for sticking with us here. Of course, game one in the books, a double overtime winner for Granite Gaming, our 7th seed heading in to the playoffs, Sim. And of course, it was a team that we happened to look at and say, you know, if there's one first round matchup where you look at least at the drastic differences, right? Like you look at Frölunda and Havu as the battle of 3 versus 6. And I don't know if it'd be an upset necessarily, of course, to see Havu win that particular matchup with the history that those two teams have. But out of the top 2 battles here, you would expect maybe to see the more likely outcome, at least in terms of an upset, be from Granit over SAWO. And that's a damn good way to start a series. They're just 3 wins away from doing that here in this best of 7.
Yeah, Granite's a team that, perhaps didn't have the strongest of regular seasons, at least by their standards, to what, when we look at that roster, believe that they're capable of. I mean, Lehmanens, Ekin, Antonio, Firion, like these are guys who have been mainstays on great teams here in the Elite Division, maybe at times still trying to put it all together, maybe at times a bit too predictable here, but you might be able to argue that a little bit of SAWO today, who kept looking for those higher slot one-timers, kept looking for around the net sort of plays, and at the end of the day, Granite was able to survive all that and, stay close. They got the game-tying goal, and then eventually the game winner. If you're SAWO, one goal simply isn't going to be enough. Nikkei's great, but relying on a goaltender throughout the entirety of a playoff when you're going up against the kind of teams that you will be going up against in the playoffs, it's simply not going to be enough. Defense, goaltending, good, but you're going to have to get the goal support as well. Same on the flip side. Goals are great, but you need that balance of the defense and goaltending. I think perhaps SAWO relied a little bit too heavy on that in their counterattack, and Granite simply took it away for the most part.
Again, friendly reminder, upon the conclusion of this upcoming second game, we'll have the first 2 games of that 1 versus 8 seed matchup. It is H-Reds, our defending champions. They'll be taking on 8th seed Goons. Very excited for that one. And of course, tomorrow as well, we have the opening first 2 games of our other 2 matchups. It will be Havu taking on Frölunda. IQ and Färjestad, King Lyman, B Major on the call in that one. Boys, congratulations. You're going to get the call to very interesting series, and I know they will very much live up to the tasks. And granted, as much as we'd love to call every single playoff game we possibly could, if that first game is of any indication, I don't think our voices would make it to the finals. So it's probably for the best that we don't.
No, yeah, absolutely. And we'll see how this second game goes between these 2 teams. You guys are getting an in-depth look at some of the builds coming along. These are Granite Gaming's builds and mostly elite edges, but we have often seen Magnetic coming out. Some players preferring that, Eki being one of them. You just saw Antonio with that Magnetic trait as well. It's, again, always kind of... There's that meta, but then also everyone's individual style will come out to play. You think of the Afe and his sniper build, his small sniper build. You think of I dangled you out with his power forward build with truculence. Capitalize on what you're good at.
Cool. And again, sportsgamer.gg, the place to be. Sportsgamer.gg on all social media platforms. Again, the slight rebranding, of course, from NHL Gamer, because at the end of the day, some of the work we've done, of course, on the FIFA side of things, and who knows what else we might be branching out into. NHL Gamer, just, NHL Gamer for a FIFA cast. Doesn't make sense. Sports Gamer, of course, the new name, the new brand, and rightfully so. Sin, we are ready to go for game number 2 here. Very much intrigued to see how this one goes down, because we kind of saw it for Granite Gaming. Just get shots on goal and good things can happen. Sometimes I think teams get a little bit too suckered into trying to look for the number 1 chance at all possible times. But regardless, it is Granite here in their home gold jerseys. And of course, SAWO and their road whites in that one. Nice little chance there again. And nearly the opening goal for Granite.
Yeah, I really like that. Granite utilizing those point shots a lot more. That was Antonio in front that time. It looked like he got a piece of it, and the puck just sort of went wide.
Understandably, you want to make sure that someone in front. Good chance there from Wenger. Like to see that. I mean, understandably, right? You want to be able to take those shooting opportunities and make sure there's not enough traffic in front that it gets blocked down. But at the same time, Sin, with what we've seen of this, I mean, those shots through have just as good of a chance of being deflected as those rocket passes do of being picked up.
Yeah, absolutely. Granit trying to just kind of bull rush their way to the net right there. That was Zovi and Antonio just trying to make something happen. Unfortunate, but I love the way Granit has started off this game. I don't know, SAWO, I don't quite see the hunger. Maybe a little tentative in this one. A little shocked that they lost that first game.
Antonio Manin throws one on. Yurska just getting back up after getting floored by Ekin a few moments ago. That pass into the corner. Antonio Manin is there. And a very good start to this game for Granit. Again, they trailed 1-0. Didn't get a goal until late in the third period. Carried that to a 2-1 overtime victory. Here is Antonio Manin in the corner. Lehmann is at the point, tried to throw it on. Good block by Yurska. That one over. Wenger. See what he can do. The spin, the pass. Furion there to intercept it. He's been incredibly strong defensively through the first 4 periods or so of this series. Yurska gains the line, dumps it in. Vatu will win the race. Drives to the net. Front opportunity. That front opportunity there was taken away by Antonio Manin. He leads it all the way down. Ekin's pass, though, a little bit off the mark. It's Wenger again. Leading the rush into the zone. Slap shot. Can't find its way through the traffic. So then again, that's what we were just kind of talking about. You want to be able to throw those shooting opportunities on net, but at the same time, you know, it's that mix of good puck movement like we saw a lot from SAWO in that first game. I feel like they were getting open lanes and not taking advantage of it. Now, so far in this game, they're just trying to throw it on from odd angles and it's being blocked. I mean, you do have to work for it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Granit right now maybe in their heads just a little bit. They came out in this game absolutely flying. They're feeling that game 1 victory here. And right now, SAWO looking for that pushback. And even so, Granit picking up the physical game as well. Their bumps right now. Looks like an NA team out here.
Antonio Manin around the back finds Zovi. 5 minutes to go here in the opening frame. Antonio Manin again not able to hold on to that one, but Ekin is able to recover it. Antonio, that shot blocked down. Dish back to the point. Again for Ekin. That shot scores! Sin, at least I think it was a shot. It ends up on the far side, right on Zovi's stick for an open goal to shoot at. 1-0 Granit Gaming.
I'm trying to get a look at it. I can't really tell from that replay. I'm sure we'll get a better look at it. But nonetheless, it's the same result. Zovi, the overtime hero from game 1, gets the opening goal here for Granit. In game 2, they take a 1-0 lead. SAWO right now, if they're not feeling the heat, they've got to be feeling it now. They've got to make some adjustment, crank it up a notch, because Granit right now is just leading the way.
As Zovi can't make that move, at least cleanly. Once across the blue line, here's Vatic. See what he can do. Sauced across, Lehmann takes it away. Gotta do a little bit more than that to get these chances against the defense, the caliber of Furion and Lehmann, who have absolutely stepped it up here. Not that they were bad in the regular season, but so far, I mean, again, aside from that 1 goal from Yurska, that defense pairing has been picture perfect. And again, they neutralize a chance. It still finds its way towards goal. Certainly not with as much heat on the shot as they were hoping for. 4 seconds to go here now. And that should do it, and it will for the opening period. Granit Gaming strike first. Within the opening 20 minutes, we'll get another look at the goal here.
I feel like in some ways Granit's been able to throw SAWO's game back in their face. We talked about it so often in the regular season, just how good that SAWO collapse was, just how good they were around their own net, boxing people out, blocking shots, and just picking off those passes that people tried to force in the middle. We mentioned it in the Havu broadcast when Havu, out-timed and attacked him by about 4 or 5 times, and SAWO still picked up the victory. That first period, 0 registered shots. Again, you mentioned it. They tried some shots from the perimeter, maybe not enough cycling before it. They were blocked. They tried to force it back into the slot. It was intercepted. Furion and Lehmann is doing a great job with the support, of course, from all 3 forwards as we get a great look at that. And indeed, it was a shot that deflected off, I believe, a skate. And Zovi was able to just rifle that one home against Nike. Granit take that lead into the dressing room. They'll take it into this second period here. And now, the onus is on SAWO. What is their response going to be?
Second period underway here again. Game number 2 of this quarterfinal matchup. The opening day of our ECL Elite Division playoffs. Roysto able to make that stop. Of course, the action brought to you by our friends at Wilhelm Kobelon and ST Hockey. We thank them for their support this season. What a season they have chosen to support is again now into the playoff situation here. Yerska's shot doesn't find a way through. And a slow start for, I was going to say a slow start for Granit here, all things considered. But then beyond that, really, beyond the second period of Game 1, they've gotten the better of the play. Because of plays like that by Antonio Mannin. Great job to snuff out that quick outlet chance. SAWO right now still just 1 goal to show for it, despite 5 full periods of play if you include the overtime having been completed. Yerska wraparound bid, a little bit slow. I think he wanted that pass. Royster was able to take it right off of the stick.
Yeah, Granit has definitely done their homework on SAWO, and they've adjusted in real time as well. Those slap shots off the boards, that Antonio adjustment right there, picked off that play, creating the counter attack back behind the net. The defenseman a bit closer on those points to not allow those passes out from behind the net and to stop those wraps as well.
Furion able to get that pass over to Zovi, the lone goal scorer in this contest so far, but it's quickly back into the defensive zone here as, again, SAWO trying to get something going. It's just not happening. Here's Antonio Mannin trying to get Zovi bouncing around and off of a leg over into the corner. Layman at D2D. Furion chest wide on a rocket of a shot. Good interception by Yerska here. Here is Vatu. Now for Venga. Yerska one more time. Can't hold on to it. Here we bring back the puns and say rock solid defense from Granit.
At this point, I mean, they've earned that and so much more here. Granit just really kind of taking it to SAWO here, proving just how close this playoff bracket is. And we'll go back in time.
I believe by about 5 minutes. So, boy, Sim, what do you remember about 5 minutes ago? I feel like my hair was a little bit shorter.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I don't know. I just.
Yeah, we do our best, everybody, to just try to continue the pace. But you know, when those things repeatedly happen in the same broadcast, it can be a little bit difficult. As Antonio Mannin off the spin move was nearly able to tap that one home. Ekin had the opportunity there as well to maybe tap one in, but it was SAWO who was able to recover. We'll see now again what SAWO can do. Still looking for their opening goal of this game. Great stretch pass there, able to find its way to Antonio off the spin, gets it down low. Again, has to go back down low, saw the pressure. Heading towards the defense, safe play. Not able to maintain possession though. This pass. Quickly broken up again, Granit in control nearly halfway through the second period, dare I say. Pass in front, it's in! Clean goal! Furion makes it 2-0 in favor of Granit Gaming. Sin in the blink of an eye. We have another twist to this game.
As I was just going to make a bit of a remark about, well, the extra time benefited Granit in the last one. Perhaps it'll do the same for SAWO. Furion puts any stop to that idea, driving the net, trying to push that puck towards the net. Pucks and bodies to the net, works out, and they have a 2-goal lead. They're not done. Antonio right back under the attack. This Granit team is hungry.
Hambu not able to get that pass out clean. Laymanins, though, takes the hit. SAWO need to wake up at this stage of the game. Great save, and off the rebound they score. And there we go. We have ourselves a game. Moja makes it 2-1 just as quickly as it became 2-0 for Granit.
Absolutely massive response there from SAWO. They desperately needed that. The first save by Roysto was great. Just couldn't quite get back in time to seal off that post. And Moja gets SAWO a much needed response here. They're back where they began here, only down by 1. And that one has got to take some of the wind out of the sails of Granit as well. They might be a bit more careful, and that's all SAWO will need to pounce on them. But SAWO takes a tripping call, and that will put Granit right back on the power play. What a swing.
Moja giveth and Moja taketh, as he'll be the one to take a seat here in the box. So again, worth noting too, SAWO will be without their centerman for this particular power play. So a huge moment here for Zovi, and what must be a must-win draw off the tie-up, though. Great job by Vatu, so there you go. The advantage, in terms of face-off, still very, very close as of that draw. This puck takes a very odd bounce. Tombu can't clear. Antonio's shot saved by Nike. Back to the point. Furion looking. Has the man posted up in front. Lehmanen's looking. Lehmanen's across. Broken up by Vatu, who clears all the way down. 50 seconds remaining on the Granite Gaming power play. Again, 2 quick goals here in this second period. So we're right back to a 1-goal lead. Favor of Granite. Trouble there for Ekin. Goes to Furion at the point. On the back end. Ekin again for Furion. Tried to shovel one home. Good stop by Nike. Rocket pass in front. Bouncing around. Vatu has it. We're back to 5-on-5. Yurska looking. That shot blocked. Puck knocked loose. Bouncing around. Antonio Manin just trying to bull rush his way to the other zone. Here's Ekin. For Lehmanens. And back to Ekin on the off wing. Down low for Antonio. Wraparound bid. Nearly caught Nike off guard. Here's Zovi now. He goes back for Antonio down low. Still fighting for this one. Moja finally able to get it out, at least momentarily. Zovi had a chance to keep that one alive. Antonio again trying to get things going. Has to drop it back. We've seen a lot less of the consistent trap game working for SAWO in this one compared to game 1. Vatu now in the corner here for SAWO, under 2.5 to play. Forward play there, Yurska able to assist. Moja still in it, but it's Furion who's able to come up with it. Defender leading things down the other way. Pass for Antonio Manin. On the boards again for Ekin. Shot blocked down. Great job there by Wenger, who gets the pass up to Yurska and joins the rush. Yurska's shot handled by Royston. Final 30 seconds now. Zovi for Lehmanens. Able to gain the zone. Loose puck for Furion. Steps in. Pass across and a stop. And that will do it. Maybe as a glove save on a line drive to deep center field is caught by Roysto. We are a very interesting scoreline heading into the third period. 2-1 in favor of Granite as you got to look at some of the elite edges we have in this particular matchup on display.
Wow. What a period right there. Really kind of starting to open up, and Granite seeming like the team who's going to make SAWO pay for those, but with counterattacks. And they've sort of flipped the script on SAWO, initially starting with their great collapse and great defense, and then again with their ability to counterattack. There's a couple opportunities I think where Furion and Lehmanens passed when they probably could have shot, but really that's my only gripe with the Granite's play in this game so far. They're doing everything right. They're defending extraordinarily well, and they're able to get the goal support for Roysto back there, who kind of took over the crease sort of midway through this season here. When Granite started out strong, they kind of tapered off a little bit, and the emergence of Roysto here, again, perhaps not the stat line that he would like, but here in the playoffs so far, absolutely making up for it. And see what Granite can do here in this third period to maintain that lead.
Furion has it here at the point. Down for Antonio. Ekin nearly got that an opportunity to shoot it. Again for SAWO, just 2 goals at this stage. A total of 6 periods of play in full if you factor in all of game 1 in the overtimes. What a stop by Roysto. Tremendous opportunity for Moja. Just doesn't find the back of the goal. Remember that save, depending on the scoreline, but a great job there by Tombo to keep it alive. Moja pinching in. Pass in front. Shot maybe stopped again. Saw the badge light up there for Roysto. Sierska has that one knocked loose. Great pressure here from SAWO. Down the other way. Loose puck. Nike forced to cover that one. No, plays it out despite a man right in front. SAWO trying to get things going. They loose puck again. Just a constant exchange of possession as these two teams just try to get something going. If you are Granite, I don't think you can afford to take your foot off the gas. You need that insurance goal here.
Absolutely not. I mean, we saw what happened there with SAWO. Getting that advantage, you take your foot off the gas, you open up more opportunities for that to happen.
To the point here. Furion can't hold on to it. Trouble perhaps. Here's Vatu now. Has Yersko with him. Vatu shot. Great block by Lehmanens, but they maintain possession. Here's Tombu. Again for Yerska. Moja in front in the traffic, taken away by Granit, at least momentarily. Yerska can't gain the line clean. 11:08 to play in regulation. A 2-1 lead here in favor of Granit Gaming. Again, they were up 2-0, but only... so I don't even know if it was a real-time minutes that they had that lead for. It was a very quick response by SAWO.
Yeah, it was really, really huge, and it was something that they desperately needed right there. And right now, you're seeing that huge SAWO pushback, but I like the response so far from Granit right here. They're doing a good job. That hit by Antonio at the blue line was huge to force that offside, and he knocked Yerska on his backside as well.
Wenger has it here, 9 minutes to play now. Yerska walking the blue line, slap shot on. I was going to say throws it on. Kind of delayed slap shot. Here's a 2-on-1 down the other way. And Antonio Manin not able to get that pass through. Great defense by Tombu. Leading the rush. The captain's pass off the mark. 7.5 here. Yerska able to get that one away from Antonio Manin. That pass in front again. Taken away. All of these plays. Just a slightly different bounce. A slightly different angle. You're talking about scoring opportunities and potentially goals with how these are lining up.
Just kind of goes to show you how much emphasis Granit is putting on taking away the slot, or at least clogging it up to make those plays even less likely. And, you know, it's just they're doing such a good job of it here.
Down low here, Antonio Manin again. Able to maintain possession. SAWO running out of time. After the conclusion of this game, we'll see the first two games between H-Reds, their #1 seed and defending champions, they take on Goons. That one off the back of the net and over the glass with 3.5 to go.
It's crunch time now if you're SAWO, and if you're Granit, you got to hold on, but not just that. You can't allow yourself to get caught in defending the entire time. SAWO will make you pay. They win another draw, and it just goes out. So good job by Granit there. They did get possession for a brief amount of time, got it far enough out of the zone, and seeing some errant passes here. I mean, the desperation level turning to a bit of panic now in the way of SAWO.
As Wenger, good couple of passes there that he was able to kick off. Antonio Manin was gone. Yerska takes it away. Vatu shot a little bit wide. As we approach the final minute, Vatu for Moja save. Rebound stop this time by Roysto. To the point, another kick stop by Roysto. And again, that rocket passed across. Here's Tombu. Looking, Yerska, that pass broken up. They can't clear. Wenger keeps it alive. Now Moja in front again. Loose puck bouncing around. Antonio Manin has it. Pinch from Tombu. Trying to fight for it. Zovi has it. A lot of back pressure here. And he can't hold on to it. 32 seconds to play. Puck sent back down in, at least for the moment, by Ekin. Vatu here. Along the half wall. Back to the point. Wenger shot blocked. Kept alive. Vatu again looking. Moja to the point. Wenger D-to-D one-timer doesn't go. Taken away by Antonio Manin. Does he have the pace on the breakaway? Elects to go around the back of the net. Chance here. 8 seconds to go. Zovi trying to keep it alive. Wenger wins it back. Sends it down. Antonio Manin's there. Granit Gaming 2-0 lead over our 2 seed in SAWO Esports.
What a veteran play by Antonio Manin. It can be so easy to want to go for the shot right there, but he recognized the situation. If he goes for that shot, if it's stopped by Niki, that could be a quick counterattack the other way. He noticed that also. I think it was Wenger back there, right hot on his heels, who could have also broken up that play before he got a shot away. He elects to go around the net, and they killed off a solid 5 to 7 seconds by doing that, which would really help them clinch the game. Very, very well played by Granit across these 2 games. That's the reason they won them both 2-1. That's the reason they have a 2-0 series lead. And SAWO on the, I wouldn't say on the brink yet, but they're in a dangerous position going down 2-0 to a team as good as Granit has been. SAWO's going to have to do a bit of soul searching, find some kind of response, some way to adjust, because that Granit team looked locked, loaded, ready to go. And my goodness, what a performance by them.
2 goals in 2 games. That is it for SAWO. Again, Sin, we said it. You can have that regular season success, but until you prove it in the playoffs, doesn't really mean a whole heck of a lot, all things considered, when we know that your aspirations are more than just being the 2 seed. A tremendous result for Granite Gaming, as we'll get another look here at that original goal. That was definitely a shot. It just so happened to find its way to Zovi. And it might, honestly, that might be what it takes, or weird plays like that, to actually beat Nikkei. As we saw here with what stood up as the winning goal from Furion, rocking a great number. And it leads to, a rather interesting goal, all things considered, from the defenseman leading the rush.
Yeah, that was kind of the bounce that SAWO was probably hoping for at a lot of stages. They simply didn't get it, and you can chalk some of it up to luck, but when you're continuing to try to force that play into the slot and still having no luck at it, credit where credit's due. The defense is doing a good job of shutting things down. You can see there, that was the goal from SAWO here, as he just snuck it in off kind of the pad, the skate of Roysto there, who towards the end of that game as well, made massive sequence of saves. I think with less than a minute remaining, he made about 2 or 3 saves in a row that absolutely went the distance for Granite. I mean, he made an initial save, slid over to his right, made another save. Puck went back to the point. He went back to his left, made another save. It was amazing job by Roysto and the Granite defense, and I think that's the big credit. They got the goals, sure. Only 2 per game is not a whole lot, but in the playoffs, everything gets tighter. You have to defend well. You have to get that goal support. You have to play a balanced game. Granite did that a little bit better than SAWO, and that's why they walked away with the 2 wins.
So with that, of course, and especially off of the overtime in that first game, we will throw it to our intermission stage here. Again, we will be back. H-Reds start off their championship defending campaign. They'll be taking on our 8th seed in Goons, so don't go anywhere. That series starts off in just a few moments. We'll be right back.